Ramadan in Medina was a time of light and mercy. The days were filled with fasting, and the nights with worship. In the Prophet's mosque, baskets of dates were collected for charity. These dates were not for feasting, but for feeding the poor, the widows, and the orphans. They were a trust, a sacred gift. To protect them, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, assigned one of his closest companions, Abu Hurairah. May Allah be pleased with him. Abu Hurairah was known for his sharp memory and his deep devotion. He was poor in worldly wealth but rich in faith. He would later become the greatest narrator of Hadith, preserving more sayings of the Prophet than any other companion. But on these nights of Ramadan, his task was simple: to sit guard over the charity of the believers. The first night passed quietly until shadows moved among the baskets. Abu Hurairah saw a figure creeping near. At first he thought it might be a hungry villager sneaking in for food. But when he leapt forward and seized the intruder, he realized this was no ordinary thief. He was holding something strange, something that did not belong to the world of men. The figure struggled in his grip, pleading desperately, "Please let me go. I am poor, and I have many dependents. I only took this to feed them." Abu Hurairah, moved by compassion, released him. The next morning, he went to the Prophet and told him what had happened. The Prophet listened, then said to him, "He lied to you, and he will return." That night, Abu Hurairah was ready. Once again the figure appeared, creeping among the baskets of dates. Once again Abu Hurairah leapt and seized him. "This time," he said firmly, "I will take you to the messenger of God." But again the thief pleaded, "Please let me go. I am in need. I promise I will not return." Abu Hurairah's heart softened, and he released him once more. The next morning, he told the Prophet. The Prophet said again, "He lied to you, and he will return." Now Abu Hurairah understood. The intruder was no desperate man. He was a liar, persistent and cunning. The Prophet's words echoed in his mind. The third night, he stood watch with resolve. The mosque was silent. The believers slept. But just as before, the shadow crept forward, reaching for the dates. Abu Hurairah sprang upon him and seized him with a grip of iron. The figure struggled, but this time Abu Hurairah did not loosen his hold. "Now I will not release you," he said. "This time I will take you to the messenger of God." The thief, cornered and desperate, changed his tone. "Shall I not teach you something?" he said. "That will protect you from me and from those like me, if you recite it before you sleep." Abu Hurairah hesitated. "What is it?" he asked. The thief replied, "When you go to bed, recite Ayat al-Kursi, the verse of the throne from Surah al-Baqarah. If you recite it, Allah will appoint a guard to protect you, and no devil will come near you until morning." Abu Hurairah listened carefully. These were powerful words. Could it be true? He released him once more, but now with the intent to confirm this claim with the Prophet. The next morning, Abu Hurairah told the Prophet everything. He described the thief's repeated lies, and finally his confession, that Ayat al-Kursi is protection through the night. The Prophet listened, then said, "He told you the truth, though he is a liar. Do you know who you were speaking to, O Abu Hurairah?" Abu Hurairah asked, "Who was it, O Messenger of God?" The Prophet replied, "That was Satan." The story struck the companions with amazement. Satan himself had been caught in the mosque, trying to steal from charity. He had lied again and again, but when cornered, he was forced to admit a truth he could not deny: the power of God's word. Ayat al-Kursi, verse 255 of Surah al-Baqarah, is among the greatest verses of the Qur'an. It describes the majesty of God, that He is the ever-living, the sustainer of all, that neither slumber nor sleep overtakes Him, that to Him belongs whatever is in the heavens and the earth. that his throne extends over the heavens and the earth, and that he is the Most High, the Most Great. Every phrase of this verse is a fortress. It proclaims that God's power is limitless, his knowledge complete, his authority absolute. Reciting it is like stepping into a castle of light, guarded by the angels, unreachable by devils. The Prophet Muhammad himself emphasized its virtue. He said, "Whoever recites Ayat al-Kursi after every obligatory prayer, nothing stands between him and paradise except death." Sunan and Nasai Book 10 Hadith 993 authentic. He also confirmed the truth Satan admitted, that reciting it before sleep protects the believer until dawn. From this encounter, we learn several timeless lessons. First, Satan never stops trying to steal. Even in Ramadan, even in the Prophet's mosque, even from food meant for the poor, he tries to deceive and take. His mission is to rob mankind of blessings, whether charity, time, faith, or sincerity. Second, Satan lies. He promised Abu Hurairah twice that he would not return, and twice he came back. The Qur'an itself says of Satan, and Satan will say when the matter is decided indeed, Allah promised you the promise of truth, and I promised you, but I betrayed you. Quran 14:22 English translation. His promises are empty, his words filled with deceit. Third, the Quran is protection. Satan himself admitted it. He could not deny the power of Ayat al-Kursi, because it declares the truth of God's majesty in a way that strips him of all power. To recite it with sincerity is to guard oneself with the shield of heaven. Finally, the story teaches us balance. Abu Hurairah's compassion led him to release the thief twice. Kindness is noble, but when facing lies, firmness is necessary. On the third night, his determination revealed a truth that benefits every believer until the end of time. For us today, the lesson is clear. Satan still whispers, still distracts, still tries to steal from our blessings. But we are not defenseless. Every believer can recite Ayat al-Kursi at night and live under God's protection. Every family can teach it to their children and make their home a fortress. Every heart can carry it as a shield against the unseen. So when night falls, remember the story of Abu Hurairah. Remember the thief who came again and again, and the truth he was forced to admit. Recite Ayat al-Kursi with sincerity, and know that angels guard you, and that Satan himself flees from its light. This is the mercy of God, that even through the deception of an enemy, he granted us a timeless gift of protection. Satan may lie, but the Qur'an is truth. Satan may plot, but God's word defeats him. And whoever holds fast to Ayat al-Kursi walks in safety until the morning light.